So I've had a few people ask me about my pedal board and what I use and my order of effects, so I just wanted to make a quick little video about it. Anyways, my signal first hits the Digitech Whammy 5. I use it only for a couple different settings, but it's a cool little pedal that I actually wanted to swap out recently with a Pog 2, but side by side the Whammy just sounded a lot better, so it stayed. And then from there we go into the Retrosonic preamp. This is based off an old Boss FET driver of sorts. I use it just to kind of get my amp into, push it into overdrive territory, just to kind of give it a little bit more low end as well. It's pretty much always on. And then from there we go into the Wampler Ego compressor. Now, I was never really a compressor fan before until I tried this pedal, and the cool thing about it is that it has a blend knob on it. So you can go, really into that country sort of squashed sound, and then back it down to kind of give yourself a little bit more dynamic. So if you're looking for a compressor pedal, this one's probably the most transparent of them out there. And then from there, the signal goes into, it doesn't look like much now just because it's housed in this Vox wah casing, but it's actually a Thomas Organ Crybaby from the 70s with a Stack of Dimes inductor, and done a couple mods to it just to kind of give it a little bit more bass, and also a variable Q resistor just so I can adjust the wah sound to it. What's cool about it is that there's also a Fox Rocks buffer built into it, which plays really nice with a lot of my fuzz pedals and stuff. So from there we go into a Barber gain changer. Now, I used to have a full tone OCD in here, and the thing I hated about it was that it had a little bit of a mid bump, which I wasn't too huge of a fan of, and this Barber gain changer has a nice flat EQ and is a little bit more transparent than the OCD, so swapped it out pretty recently anyway. And then from there we go into probably the coolest pedal on my board, a Blackout Effector's dual fuzz. On the left side it's a fixed fuzz, which is kind of a juiced up fuzz face from hell. There's really no other way to explain it. And then on the right side it's a big muff that has a lot more tonal capabilities in it. So it's pretty much the main high gain sound that you hear in King of Foxes. So there you go. Then from there we go into a pedal that I built. It's a based off of the version 4.5 IC op amp big muff that you hear on Siamese Dream. So it has that really nice saturated sound. So far it's the only build that I've ever done that stayed on my board for as long as it has anyway. Then on the left side, I had Ryan from Dr. Scientist build this one for me. It's Elements, and basically it's my lead pedal. I have the mids kind of cranked up on it, and it's really transparent. Really, I love that thing. It just sounds great in any application. And then from there we go into the Source Audio EQ. What's nice about this EQ is it has 4 presets, and I tailor it to the various guitars that I use. And so whenever I swap out a guitar, I just have to change the presets to 1, 2, 3, or 4. So pretty quick. From there, my signal goes into this Electro Harmonics Freeze. Really cool pedal. It does like a little quick sample, kind of a droney sample that you can kind of play over top of. If you've ever heard, say, Bill Frisell, he uses it all over his records. Really neat pedal. And from there, we go into something that I'm not a huge fan of, but the great thing about it, it's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. Line 6 N5. And I use it for all of my modulation effects because, obviously with the limited real estate, I can't have a standalone unit for each one. So I use it more or less for tremolos, phasers, flangers, choruses, that kind of stuff. And from there, you can't see it, but it's underneath the board. From there, the signal goes into a This Is Mine buffer, and the buffer goes directly into the Ernie Ball VP Junior. And the reason why I have that set up is because I use the tuner out with my chord pitch black there, and a lot of guys complain about tone sucking and whatnot when you use the tuner out, but with the buffer I don't hear anything at all. Then from there we go into the Eventide Time Factor. Personally, I think this is the best delay pedal out there other than maybe the Strymon. Totally adjustable, really cool sounds, a lot of presets on there. Totally usable in any situation, and The little box to the right there is a box that I built that can bank down and tap tempo, and it's hooked directly into the Eventide with the TRS cable. And then from that point, it's the last pedal in the chain, which is a Line 6 Verbzilla. Basically, it's my main reverb pedal, and I use it for more or less the spring sound, but I like it for like that washy, shoegazy sort of sound too. Cool thing about this pedal is it has a trail switch on it, so when I deactivate the pedal, the reverb does trail in the signal a little bit. And yeah, that's basically it. That's my pedal board. Thanks a lot.